Hello, this is Carla from Art with Katie, and I'm very happy to see you today. In this video, I'll show you how to set up a bullet journal for the student's life. Being that you're in middle school, high school, or university, I know that these tips will be very useful for you. And as you can see, I will be using this beautiful notebook that was gifted to me by one of my students. Thank you very much for this lovely gift. As usual with a new notebook, we'll start with the cover. This time my color palette was selected to keep the feeling of the cover of the notebook. That's why you'll see some flowers and pinks and pastels. You will also see me using a lot of paper and washi tapes beside my markers. The idea is to bring beauty to a notebook that will keep us organized in a way that's easy and of course beautiful. But if you like some more ideas for the cover, I'm gonna leave you the link to my 101 bullet journal setup playlist. I'm sure you're gonna find many videos there to get you inspired. Now, after the cover, we'll start with the collections, which is mainly the part of the notebook that will help us become more organized and keep on track. The first layout of my collections is the key. Your key can be as simple and complicated as you want it to be. Honestly, just having a check mark can be enough for you to track if you finish or haven't finished an activity. I usually just have a box that indicates that it's an activity that I have to do. And then as I start advancing in it, I put a little dot. And eventually I will be checking that box so that I know that that assignment has been done. But it doesn't have to be something complicated. And then you can also add an index. The index will help you find special pages in your notebook. In a way, it'll also help you be accountable for everything you've done throughout the year, or in this case, a semester. I decided to plan this notebook in a semester base for two main reasons. One of them is that usually my notebooks last a semester, so I will be needing two for the year. And also because starting high school, we usually have classes by the semester, but you can use it to plan for as long as necessary. Don't you love the pop-up color that the color paper brings to the notebook? I just love it. And it's such an easy way to bring color into one of your designs or layouts. Next, ideally, you'll be working with your future log, which is a calendar. Again, if you're planning for the semester, you'll write down the activities you have for that semester. And if you want to plan for the complete year, of course you can do so. Just keep in mind how much space you're going to be needing. Since I'm planning for a semester, I will divide my future log in 2 pages or 2 layouts for 3 months each. This is perfect. And speaking of perfect, I love this washi tape set. I found it some time ago in Amazon and I have used it for the last maybe couple of years, and it just has the months, the days of the week, check boxes, the whole calendars, and it's just so convenient. You can find the link to purchase something similar to mine in the description box, along with any other material that I'll be using throughout this video. You could also decide to write the numbers by hand, and that's completely fine. Washi tape, again, is something that's useful in this case, gives this really clean look to our numbers. Although I have to say that looking for the right number formation for the month can be a little bit of a hassle. And using my Mildliners, I try to highlight and color code the events. What days I'm off, what days I have parent-teacher conferences, what days I have exams. And this will be very useful when I start planning for my months. You will also see me doing this in my personal bullet journal. And I'll leave you the link for the one I did for this year. It's lovely, and I know that you're gonna appreciate the layouts that I use for planning this much anticipated year. The next layout that you suggest you have in any academic journal is of course your schedule. It's a great way to organize your week and your days. Of course, now I imagine that most of you out there can see your schedule online. Some schools have their own platforms for students to log in and see everything they need to know about what they have to do. But if you're not one of these lucky students, you can always use any of the phones in your app that helps you manage time. In which case, I will be recommending to you the use of Google Calendar. It's the app that I like the most to organize my events, my activities, and even my tasks. But regardless of the app or platform you use to see your schedule, you can always print it and then glue it here in your notebook. And that's going to help you save time and avoid mistakes. The next layout I love to add into my academic journal, it's the class information. This is something that you have to have handy. Who's the teacher? What's the time that you have to attend the class? And where do you have to attend it? Also, do you need any code or link to enter the class in case you're online or in case you have to go to a certain platform? And the books that you might be needing for the class. Even the teacher's office hours. The idea is that you have any information that will help you be really successful in that class. And as you can see, I even color-coded so that I can see my schedule, immediately know what class it is from, and who the teacher is. You can even use this color code into the covering of your notebooks or even buy the notebook with that color. It helps you a lot to stay organized, but it's not something that you have to do. Remember that the idea here is to help you find a system that works for you. And if you're liking my content and my tips, consider subscribing to my channel. Something that I'll really like you to include, it's how you're gonna be graded. Depending on your school, each teacher might have a different grading criteria, and it is very important that you know how you're gonna be graded. Are you gonna have projects? Are you gonna have readings to do? Are you gonna have to do certain assignments, experiments, lab? There's so many things that you could be graded for, and it's important that you know so that every period you know what grade you should be getting according to your results. Even more, here I forgot to add the final grade because maybe it's very different from the other grades you got through the semester or even the year. In my case, for example, the final grade is 70% of the average of the first 2 quarters, and the final project or exam is 30%. And that gives me the final grade. It is very important for you to know how you're going to be graded so that you put your effort on the right activities. Which is correct, my next layout is the assignment tracker. You need to know what you should be doing in order to get the best grade possible, right? In this case, I suggest that you have an accountability tracker by subject. That way you'll know which subject is more demanding, and maybe you'll decide to pay more or less attention because of that. And you'll also see which teacher is the one that's asking you to do more stuff. When you're done, you can decide if you want to check the activity or even cross it out. That way you know you've done with it. And this is the layout I propose for project planning. The difference mainly because you should go through the writing process steps while you're planning a project. That's why you'll see a little bit more columns here. And regardless of the subject, you can put them all in this spread and see where you are throughout the process. Have you planned, drafted, revised, edit, and of course handed. And you can even leave a space to know the grade that you got and be able to go back to that grade tracker and mark your note. Now we're done with the collections and we're gonna go for the monthly planning. And you've seen a lot of my videos here for monthly plans, and you can take a look at the most recent one I did. Usually for every new month, I select a color palette and a theme that get me inspired. Something that I like, something that's interesting, or maybe even a sticker or washi tape that will be the main piece of my inspiration. But in this case, I continue using the materials I had handy. When you're in school, the amount of materials that you have handy is limited, so you need to be really creative with what you have. But there's always ways to create something cute, especially when you give yourself the time. Every month has a cover and a calendar. And because we invested a lot of time into having our year or semester planned, these should be even quicker. We can go back to look at the future log, at our schedule, at our classes, and then be able to plan for the month. Again, you can go and print the calendar from your school and just glue it here, or you can just do a simple calendar with not much decoration and you can build on it. But I just love using colored paper because I think it just gives this pop that's amazing and it looks phenomenal. I honestly love how this one came out. The next step is to plan what's coming this month, and it's when I use rapid logging. Basically, I'm gonna write down everything that comes to mind regarding the month. Projects, pendings, events, anything that I can think of. That way I can use this page as reference when planning my weeks and of course, overviewing my month. And lastly, you'll see me creating tabs with some washi tape. The idea of the tabs is to have easy access to different layouts. On the side or vertical line, I put tabs for the months. You'll see me add there January, February, March, and so on. That way I always know that those tabs go to my monthly covers. But then I add some to the top or horizontal line, and those are for important collections, such as my future log, my schedule, and anything else that I think it's important for me to have a handy tab and access quickly. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and especially I hope that you find it really useful. I recorded this with you in mind because I want you to have the most successful year of all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Be creative, be safe, and always be kind. Bye! Please like and share my video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next time!